end is not the end. When you take your last breath on earth, not everything ends. This is important to remember, that even when death, even when tragedy comes to our lives, to our family members' lives, to our friends, to our coworkers, there is something that stands behind that wall of death. If you know Jesus, if you have been living righteously, if you've called on His name, if you follow His commandments, you know that when death comes, that's when joy comes. That's when the promised land, heaven, where God's been preparing it for you, where it's been waiting for you, that's where heaven stands and waits for you. When we get to this age, where we get closer to that, we start to think about it. We start to think about it. What is death? What does it pertain? What is heaven? What is promised? And there's a lot of information that is found in the Bible. First of all, Revelation talks about the last times, about what heaven is like. And we see lots of references to heaven through Jesus' words and through other prophecies. On the other hand, Jesus talks a lot about hell as well. He talks about hell more than he talks about heaven. He wants people to understand the dangers and how scary hell is. Burning for an eternity, a lake of fire, gnashing of teeth, just eternally, eternal pain, eternal suffering. And it all comes down to personal choice, personal preferences in life, personal decisions. The thing is, Jesus doesn't talk about heaven too much, and that is because he kind of wants to keep that a mystery. No one's ever had a thought about how glorious it is. When I was younger, I thought, hey, what if heaven's like this? What if heaven's like that? And at the same time, my childish mind was like, hey, since I thought this thought, heaven must be much greater than this. We know the streets are of gold. We know how beautiful it is there. We know how we're going to worship God there for eternity. We know that each one of us is going to get our crowns. We're going to place them at the feet of Jesus. How wonderful will that day be? Just know, just live today as if you're aiming for heaven. Not just as, but I hope you are aiming for heaven. I hope you see each and every one of you in heaven, rejoicing, glorifying God's name. Be encouraged today. Heaven awaits you. Heaven awaits you. Be blessed.